Good afternoon. Today I'm going to do a highly requested video, and that is going to be about my piercings. So let's just get right into it. I have 13 piercings. 4 of them are in this ear. On this ear I have 3 piercings. So yeah, those are the ones on my ear. And then obviously a lot of you have seen that I have my Monroe pierced on the right side of my face. And then I have a dermal anchor on my chest. It's right here, right underneath my collarbone. And then I have my tongue frenulum pierced, which is the underside of the tongue. And then I have 2 surface piercings on my hips, which I will attempt to show you now. So right there, and I have the same ones on the other side. The last piercing that I have is not YouTube viewer friendly, but I will say that it's somewhere in this area, and that is all I will say. Okay, so I guess I will give you a brief description and I guess my experience with each piercing. All the ones on the ear, I would say that if you're thinking about getting them, totally do it. It doesn't hurt much more than just getting your regular earlobes pierced, and it's pretty much about the same amount of aftercare that you need to do to take care of it. So I would say that all the ear piercings are pretty easy. My Conch and my Tragus were both done with guns. Both of my earlobes were also done with piercing guns. And then just my Rook was done with a needle. I don't really have a preference with guns and needles. I would say that they heal about the same and they come out just as nice. So yeah. The next one that I'll talk about is my Monroe. If you're thinking about getting this one, I also highly recommend it. It heals very quickly. Pretty much any piercing around your lip, if you're gonna get like your labret or like the side of your bottom lip done, all those piercings heal pretty quickly because the cells around and in your lip regenerate very fast. Got this one done in 2006, so I've had it for almost 4 years, and like usually with piercing on your lip, because the cells heal so quickly, if you take it out then it closes up really quickly, but since I've had it for so long, I can actually take it out for about 2 weeks, is the longest that I've had it taken out, and I can still put it back in with no problem. And then this one is not really a piercing, it's called a Microdermal Anchor. How it stays in is that they take a biopsy punch and they punch a hole in your skin. It's 2 pieces. The piece in the back is flat, and they will insert it up and under your skin so that it holds on, and then this top diamond part kind of screws onto that bottom flat piece. So it's pretty much embedded parallel right under your skin. And it's a pretty new technique. A lot of places don't do it. It's actually illegal in Long Island, so I had to go out to the city. And did it hurt? Like, yes, of course. They're punching a hole in your skin, so I don't understand how that could not hurt. But it was totally worth it, and I would totally do it again if I had to. A lot of people say that microdermal anchors don't heal, or they have like a high rejection rate. I did not have that experience at all. For me, it was healed within a week, and there was pretty much no pain at all after the first initial like punching of the hole in the skin. So it was super easy to take care of. She gave me a saline spray, and all I had to do was spray it on my piercing around the area 3 times a day, and then within a week it was totally healed, and it's totally fine. I got this one last summer, so it hasn't rejected or showed any signs of rejecting, and so I'm really happy about that. Surface piercings. I wish that I did more research on surface piercings before I actually got my surface piercings. I do like them a lot. However, I kind of just got it on a whim. I kind of wanted a new piercing, but I didn't really know what to get. So I just walked in, and then I was looking at the guy's portfolio, and I was like, oh, I've never seen this before. This looks really cool. I'm gonna get it. And of course, like, they don't really tell you much about like rejection rates or anything because they obviously want to make money. But if you read anything on surface piercings, which I did after I got it, you will know that pretty much 100% of them reject. And I wish that I knew this before I actually got it, because the one on my right side hip is healing okay, but the one on my left side is starting to come out. So if you're thinking about getting a surface piercing, you really have to think about it, because I read that they will all eventually reject, and they never really heal. I got these last September, and it's almost a year later. It's about 10 months later, and they're still healing. Like, they still get crusty around them, which is normal for any piercing, like when you first get it, but 10 months later I'm still getting like the crusties, and it's just not healed. I have to really be careful of like me not bumping into anything, because if I bump into anything and if they scrape against anything, they will get like bloody and crusty all over again. I don't know if they'll ever be totally healed, and I wish I knew that before I got them. I can't take them out myself. I'd have to go back and get it taken out, and then if I do that, I'll have like really ugly scars left over. Surface piercings usually leave really big scars because the needle and the actual piercing jewelry needs to go through so much skin. Yeah, and then another thing is that they're always getting caught on my seat belts, and it's uncomfortable. If I'm wearing jeans and I sit the wrong way, it'll like catch on my hip piercings, and it really hurts and it's really annoying. So I don't recommend getting those. So enough about that. Let's move on to my tongue web. I love this piercing. I actually just got this piercing about maybe 3 weeks ago, and I'm in love with it. I wish I totally got this piercing a lot earlier. I wanted it for a long time, but I never really got the chance to do it because I didn't know how much healing time was involved. I know if you get your tongue pierced, like your regular tongue piercing, that takes like about a week to heal, where your tongue like swells up and you can't talk and you can't eat. And so I was scared that it would be the same way for this, because it's still in your mouth and it's still like really soft tissue, but it's totally not like that at all. You can talk perfectly fine after you get it done, and then like it was healed within like an hour. There was no pain after I got it, and there was hardly like any pain at all during the actual piercing process, because the tongue web is so thin that the needle just like slides right through, and it's so easy. I wish I got it way earlier. I highly recommend that one if you want to get that one. It was a little weird like at first when I was brushing my teeth, because I was so careful for the toothbrush not to hit it, but now it's fine and I totally am in love with it. So yeah, I highly recommend that one. And then my last piercing, which like I said is over in this area of my body, was actually my first piercing that I ever got besides my earlobes. It's another one of my favorite piercings, and it does increase sensitivity, I will say that. So that's kind of fun, and it kind of takes a long time to heal. It takes a few months to heal. I recommend that one if you're thinking about getting it also. It's a funny story about this one though, because since it was my first piercing that I ever got, I was kind of inexperienced with it, and I would have to say that like 8 people watched me get this piercing done. It's kind of embarrassing, but I mean, like, it's okay because I'm never gonna see those people ever again. But it was me, my cousin, her friend, the piercer, there was a tattoo artist, and then there was a guy getting a tattoo from the tattoo artist, and then there were 2 guys that were in the front, like the reception guys of the tattoo place. So there were like 8 people, and they didn't really have like a separate piercing room. It was kind of just like next to the tattoo section of the shop. So yeah, pretty much like 8 people saw me get this done, which, I don't know, it's kind of funny. It doesn't really bother me because, like I said, I'll never see them again. But if you're thinking about getting it done and you're worried about that stuff, make sure you research the place and like look around before you start like stripping, because I didn't do that. Obviously, when people see piercings, the first question that they always ask, like always, like guaranteed to ask, is, did it hurt? And I don't know why people ask that, because you are getting a needle through your skin. Of course it's going to hurt, like, but I think that personally I have a pretty high tolerance for pain, and even though it does hurt, it only lasts for about 2 seconds and then it's done, and then you have, you know, like the piercing that you always wanted or have been thinking about getting for so long. So my advice is that if you really want to get a piercing, just go and do it. Like, just suck it up and do it. You're gonna realize that it was totally worth it. So that's my advice. That is pretty much all I have to say about piercings. If you have any questions, just leave them below in the comments, and I will see you guys all in my next video.